How do you know if you have truly forgiven someone? Can you forgive and still be hurting? And how do you know if you have been completely healed from an offense? These are the questions that I always receive whenever I do talks and workshops on forgiveness. And these are the questions that I will be answering in this video. Forgiveness has been a struggle for many. The greater the hurt, betrayal, and damage inflicted on us by a person, the more struggle we experience in forgiving them. Forgiveness is the act of letting go of whatever debt you think the person owes you because of their offense. This also means that you won't act out the punishment that you think they justly deserve. This takes a lot of humility, grace, and understanding to truly forgive someone. But sometimes, even after forgiving them, a lot of people still feel the hurt and pain whenever they see the person who offended them or when they remember what they have done. This makes them question if they have truly forgiven the person or not. To answer this, let's first look at the connection between forgiveness and healing. Have you heard the saying, "Time heals all wounds"? Well, that is not entirely accurate. Yes, sometimes the healing process takes time, but time doesn't automatically heal all wounds. I have met people who have been carrying around emotional wounds for 30 years, and not only did that emotional wound not heal, but it has infected other areas of their lives with bitterness. You can compare being hurt emotionally to being bitten by a venomous snake. The snake bite is the offense that caused the emotional wound, and the venom is the bitterness that lingers after the offense has been made. Even after the snake has left us and has stopped biting us, the venom still remains. And the longer it stays in our system, the more damage it does. This is exactly what bitterness does in our lives. Even after the person has stopped doing things to hurt us, we carry around the pain of that offense. If bitterness is left unresolved, it will continue to affect our behavior, the way we treat and relate to other people, and most of all, it affects the relationships closest to us. As long as bitterness remains, the healing process cannot begin. And this is where forgiveness comes in. Forgiveness doesn't instantly heal the wound, but it releases the venom of bitterness from our system so that the healing process can now begin. So can you forgive someone and still be hurting? Yes. It's important to understand the difference between forgiveness and healing, because some people have the misconception that the moment you forgive someone, you automatically stop hurting too. There are people who experience the pain of the offense go away instantly after forgiveness, but for most, the healing process takes time. And that's okay. The important thing is that you have already forgiven the person, released that bitterness from your system, and the healing is now starting to take place in your life. So if you're someone who has sincerely forgiven the person who has hurt you, but is now doubting that forgiveness because you occasionally still feel the hurt from that offense, then this just might mean that you are still in the process of healing. It doesn't mean that you haven't truly forgiven that person. And while you are in this season of healing, avoid negative and hateful thoughts about that person who has offended you. Remind yourself that you have chosen to forgive and you choose not to be bitter towards this person. Don't allow bitterness and hatred to creep back into your heart. And if you really want to speed up the process of healing, here are a few things that you can do. 1. Pray and ask God to reveal to you the lies that you have believed in because of the hurt, and ask Him to replace it with the truth. Number 2, release all judgmental labels that you have placed on the person and choose to see them not as an evil person who is out to hurt you, but as someone who is also broken and whose behavior is just driven by their unresolved bitterness, anger, and fear. Number 3, pray for them. It's hard to stay resentful and hateful to a person that you continuously pray for. Keep praying for them until God changes you and your heart towards them. And lastly, number 4, Jesus taught us in Luke 6 verse 27 to 28 to love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who mistreat you. This is how you overcome offense, bitterness, and evil. Overcome it with good, overcome it with kindness, overcome it with forgiveness. These 4 things that I mentioned to you will definitely speed up the process of healing, and soon you will experience that freedom and peace that can only come from God and a life that is free from bitterness. And just one last question about forgiveness that we want to address. How do you know when you have been totally healed from an offense? Well, have you heard the saying, forgive and forget? That's also not accurate. We normally don't forget the negative things that other people have done to us just because we have forgiven them. But what happens is that when you are healed, even when you remember the hurtful events from the past, the pain and the hurt is no longer there. Just like this scar that I have on my right hand. I remember exactly where I got it and how I got it, but the memory doesn't bring pain and hurt with it anymore. And that is how you know when you have been completely healed from your past hurts. You can remember it and even talk about it with other people, but the pain and the hurt is no longer there. And this is not because you have become numb to it, but because you have received complete healing. And this all starts by following what Jesus taught us to forgive other people and follow through with it by loving them and being kind to them. If you can relate to any of the things I have just talked about, or if you have any additional thoughts on this, please share it with us in the comments below. I would love to hear your insights and feedback on this topic. That's it for us today. I hope this has been of value to you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and also hit that notification bell so you will be updated when a new video is uploaded. May God bless you in every way, and may you continue to live your life to the fullest.